Buy and grow players of WoW. Tarou here from the best free profession leveling and gold making website in the world, TarouWowGuides.com, and I'm bringing you an awesome video on how to easily level Jewelcrafting to 525. To get started, you'll want a budget of around 12,000 gold, more or less depending on your server's economy. To make things easier, here's a list of all the materials I suggest to have. You may need more or less, or even different ones depending on how you level, but remember, if you overbuy, you can just sell back the extras on the auction house. Also, if you have mining or want to level it and jewel crafting at the same time for almost free, my leveling video and guide go side by side with this for the most part, so check my website or YouTube channel. After you get all your mats taken care of, go to the closest trainer, which can be found by talking to a guard in any major city. Once there, learn Apprentice Jewelcrafting. JC is great for many reasons like gold making and plus 81 stat through JC only epic gems or 123 stamina. Congrats on your new profession, and now you can begin crafting and leveling Jewelcrafting to 525. First, craft up 20 delicate copper wire. Save these, you're going to need them in a future step. Throughout this guide, try having the trainer window open so you can learn anything new that pops up. After just about every item you skill up with, a few more items will become available for training. So just quickly learn those as they become available. Okay, so after hitting skill level 20 or 21, craft 10 rough stone statues, which will get you to skill level 30. Then craft 20 Tiger's Eye bands using the 20 delicate copper wire you just made in the first step to get you to Jewelcrafting skill level 50. If for any reason you can't find enough Tiger's Eye on the auction house, you can always prospect copper ore for it. At skill level 50, see the trainer and learn Journeyman Jewelcrafting. You'll need to be at least character level 10. Also train anything else that's available. From skill level 50 to 75, make 30 bronze settings and save them. You'll need them in a later step. For 75 to 80, make 5 solid bronze rings. Here I ran into a slight problem. I ran out of space. No biggie, I just send everything off to my disenchanter. Almost everything we make in this video should be disenchanted. If you don't have an enchanter, you can almost level one by using the DE'd mats from Jewelcrafting. I have a leveling guide for enchanting on my website with a video as well. Otherwise, it's how we'll make some bank from leveling. I'm using the add-on Trade Skill Master to set up an auto mail for my alt. This way I can press one button and have everything sent off. Alright, so at skill level 80, make 30 rings of silver mite, which will get you to skill level 110. If you can't find enough silver bars, you may need to have some silver ore smelted or even make something else. From 110 to 120, make 10 heavy stone statues. At skill level 120, make 30 pendants of the agate shield. You might not find enough moss agate, whatever it's called, or it might be very expensive on the auction house, so you'll have to prospect tin ore. This can actually make a good amount of gold and produce other gems for resale or crafting. You can also make 35 amulets of the moon instead if it's a huge problem for you and lesser moonstone is cheaper on your server. To get the recipe, you'll have to buy it from Daniel Bartlett in Undercity or other vendors that I have listed on my website in this guide. Once you reach Jewelcrafting skill level 150 and are at least level 20, train expert Jewelcrafting and anything else that is available. I also continue to send my disenchanter everything I craft along with extra mats. After all that's sent off, you'll need to make 55 mithril filigrees, which should get you to skill level 185. At 185, make 20 engraved true silver rings. This will get you to skill level 205. This is a good time to learn Artisan Jewelcrafter. It requires character level 35. From 205 to 210, make 5 citrine rings of rapid healing. If citrine is a ripoff, or in short supply, you can always prospect some mithril ore to get them. It'll also give you aquamarine and star rubies that you'll need later on. Once you hit 210, learn aquamarine signet and make 10 of them. You'll need 10 jeweler's settings that can be bought from the Jewelcrafting supplies vendor right next to the JC trainer. At 220, train again and make 5 aquamarine pendants of the warrior, which will level you up to 225. Now that you're 225, your bags are probably full again like mine, so make a quick trip to the mailbox and send everything off to an alt. After that, make 50 thorium settings, which should take you from 225 to at least 250. This is a great time to prospect some thorium ore. This is yet another great ore to prospect since the resale value of the gems that come from it can be very high when compared to the price of thorium ore. You can get all kinds of gems, and we'll be using quite a bit in the next steps for leveling up jewel crafting. Anything left over we'll sell in the auction house for some extra gold. Like I said, this is another good tip for anybody who is low who wants to make some gold. Alright, let's get on with the leveling. Make 10 ruby pendants of fire, which will get you to 260. Next, make 20 simple opal rings that will level you from 260 to 280. At 280, you can train Master Jewel Crafter. It requires level 50. Also, make sure you train anything else that's available. With Master Jewel Crafter trained, make 12 diamond focus rings that'll bring you from 280 to 290. Then 290 to 300, make 10 emerald lion rings. Next, congrats yourself on making it to 300. You're more than halfway to finish. Now that you're 300, there'll be a ton to train in gems, and things can get a bit frustrating since Burning Crusade content is often skipped. For some reason, everyone hates leveling there. You're likely going to need to prospect felt iron ore for the gems since the auction house usually doesn't have very many. Felt iron ore might also be in short supply, so if worse comes to worse, ask someone to prospect adamantite ore for you. You won't be high enough level to do it on your own just yet. From 300 to 310, make any gem while it's yellow. It may take 13 cuts to reach 310. Once you're skill level 310, train and make more gems aside from any that use blood garnet or golden dranite up to 315. If you don't have any gems, make either 10 golden dranite rings or felt iron blood rings up to 320. At skill level 320, craft 5 azure moonstone rings. This will get you to 325. Now that you're skill level 325, you can prospect adamantite ore. You may need to prospect some to get adamantite powder and more uncut uncommon BC gems if your auction house has a low supply. Next, make 11 mercurial adamantite, which should easily get you to skill level 330. Then from 330 to 340, make 13 gems that are still yellow. The last step may have pushed you up to 333 or so, which means you may not need to make as many gems, although it may help out in the next step. At 340, make 11 heavy adamantite rings. This should level you to 350. Now that your skill level in jewel crafting is 350, you'll be making rad stuff. But first, learn Grandmaster Jewel Crafter, which requires level 65 and anything else that's available. From 350 to 380, make any combination of 33 gems. Finding gems may be difficult, so once again, prospect if need be. Cobalt ore is what you'll want to prospect here. You should get a decent amount of uncommon gems. If possible, don't use any bloodstones, chalcedony, huge citrine, or sun crystals when making your gems. They'll be used in the next step, and you'll need some combo of 23 of them. After hitting 380, make 23 bloodstone bands, crystal chalcedony amulets, crystal citrine necklaces, or sun rock rings until you hit 400. At 400, make any combination of 20 shadow mite rings or stone guard bands. Pick whichever is cheaper to make and has the mats available on the auction house. Both will disenchant into the same thing anyhow. Make these up to 420. Next, from 420 to 425, make a combination of 5 meta gems. Make 1 or 2 of each to have a variety that is easier to sell, or make ones you know will sell on your server. When you hit 425, learn Illustrious Grandmaster Jewel Crafter and anything else that's available. This requires level 75, and from here on out, you'll be trucking down the last stretch of your jewel crafting leveling. You'll also begin making Cataclysm level items, which is where the money really flows. From 425 to 450, make 30 Jasper rings if you have enough Jasper gems. If not, make some Alicite pendants after 435 or a combo of any gem that uses Zephyrite. Solid Zeph followed by Rigid will be your best sellers, but don't expect them to sell very well. You can also start prospecting Obsidian ore for gems. Once you hit 450, you'll get your Profession Master achievement. Congrats on that, by the way. From 450 to 490, make 40 Hessonite bands. You can still make Jasper rings or Alcite pendants up until greens at 460 if you want, but I like the Hessonite bands. At 460, you can also make Carnelian spikes and Nightstone chokers, which are both great for disenchanting, but Carnelian is probably super expensive and not worth it for most servers. You're going to need to make Nightstone chokers in the next step anyhow. Once in a while, you'll proc a rare quality Hessonite band, which will sell for around 150 to 200 gold on most servers. At 490, make 30 Nightstone chokers. This should get you to 510. When you get to 510, things get a little bit expensive. You'll want to make some combo of 11 vicious sapphire rings or amber jewel bands until you reach JC skill level 520. You can add vicious ruby signets to the mix, but they're going to be very expensive and possibly hard to sell at a profit. For the final points, 520 and 525, make a mix of 5 vicious sapphire necklaces or amber jewel pendants. You can also add in some vicious ruby chokers, but just like the ruby signets, they're going to be really expensive and it might be hard to sell them with turning an actual profit. Finally, let's list everything and see how much gold we can get back from leveling Jewelcrafting 1 to 525. I'll be listing everything for 12 hours and in singles for most items like PvP rings and necks along with gems. Enchanting mats will be sold in their highest stack size for the most part. List up all your leftover mats unless you plan to use them to make more of an item. For this video, I won't keep anything since I want to show you the possible gold back for accuracy. Getting everything disenchanted may take a little bit and expect to have to tip a few hundred or more gold. Remember, this is also a good opportunity to level enchanting on one of your alts. Alrighty, with everything listed including all the enchanting mats and rare necks and rings that procced, it's now just a matter of time of when it all will sell. Periodically, you may want to check for undercuts in the evening every day, but other than that, just relist when the items expire. I usually do this early morning and evening in 12-hour sessions. While we're waiting, let me show you how to get gem cuts. Every day a daily will pop in Org or Stormwind from the JC Supplies vendor. Usually it's very easy like this one that wants us to sprinkle some stardust on any humanoid including NPCs. I first get all the NPCs near the quest giver, myself, and any other players. Then I just step out and find the closest NPCs and players to finish it up. Takes a minute or so and you're already done with the quest. It rewards a decent amount of experience for low levels or gold for higher levels, some guild rep, and 1 illustrious Jewelcrafter's token. These tokens can be used to buy your rare or epic gem cuts and rare meta cuts. Some cuts can be found from drops or bought off the auction house, but the main ones will come from these tokens and start at 3 tokens per. Make sure you do your daily every day if you want to amass all the cuts that are popular. I'll put a full list of suggested cuts on my website in this leveling guide. This is also how you can get your JC perk plus 81 stat or 123 stamp bonus. It takes 2 tokens to buy the cut, and it also may be buffed in a future patch, who knows. Okay, so it's been 2 days and time to see how much gold we've gotten back so far. We're starting with 8,982 gold and have 395 mails to loot. That's quite a bit considering it's only been 2 days. Jewelcrafting is one of the most profitable professions to level as long as you follow my leveling guide and advice. Enchanting mats are going to be your big winners along with PvP necks and rings. Okay, looks like we got back 16,519 gold with even more still in the auction house sure to sell in the coming days. It breaks down like this. JC leveling 1 to 525 cost 15,272 gold. Gold back from sales was 16,519 gold. That actually gave us a profit of 1,247 gold. Yes, we actually made gold off of leveling Jewelcrafting to 525, which is pretty rare for most professions. While you're leveling, pay attention to the items that disenchanted or sold nicely. These will be the items you'll want to make bank off of with your server until you get your JC gem cuts. Jewel crafting truly is an unbelievably awesome profession to have with some huge gold making potential. Alchemy is my favorite combo with JC, but mining works well too, or even enchanting for easy disenchanting. Well, that's it for this video. I hope you liked it, and congrats again on 525 jewel crafting. Thanks for watching. If you haven't yet, please subscribe and visit TarouWildGuides.com for more free wild guides and updates to this guide. Now go PvP or something. You totally deserve it.